In this video, we'll take a look at the building that we'll be using for this multi-line exercise, and we'll set up the multi-line definition for the exterior walls. Now, at this point, you should have open the multi-line PDF file in your working files folder, which will give you the dimensional information along with the settings for the multi-line profiles. And you should also have opened a new design file called Office and use the Save As function to make this file from your original working file so that you transfer all of the current settings. However, please make sure that your working units are correct for either your English units file or a metric file. Let's take a close look at the actual building itself. We can see the dimensions on the screen, which are simply the overall dimensions. Let's take a closer look at a corner here. And what you'll see is that the construction of the building has a 4-inch outer brick veneer wall, a 2-inch airspace, and an 8-inch concrete block inner wall. Now, please note that the dimensions attached to the outside corner of the 8-inch block wall. They do not go to the outside of the brick face. And this is simply because when constructing the building, the exterior block walls will be placed first. The brick veneer exterior skin will be added after the roof is on and the windows and doors are installed. This is why the dimensions are to the exterior face of the block, because the mason laying the block needs these dimensions first. This will affect how we define our multi-line definition. To be precise, we need this line to be our working line when we place these exterior multi-lines. Let's move on and look at the multi-line definition. I want you to keep the definition open in the PDF file so you can refer to it. And what we see here is the definition for the exteriors. Here's the block, here's the airspace, here's the brick. Here are the physical dimensions of the system. And here on the right side are the offsets for the multi-line definition. 0, 0 is our working line, and we have a positive 8-inch line in this direction, but a negative 2-inch and a negative 6-inch line in that direction. And these are the values that we have to enter into the definition. So let's take a look at the multi-line definition box. Two ways to do this. We can go to Element and Multi-lines. That will open the Styles box. Or if we're actually starting the multi-line tool, which is this one, there is an icon on the tool settings window which will also open this box. We'll do this in two different ways later on. For the moment, let's look at this. These are the definitions for the currently active multi-line, which is not what we need. We obviously need to change this. So working with the information that we have, which is here, let me zoom that in just a little bit. Let's take a look at the information in this box. First of all, the obvious thing are the actual multi-lines themselves, and we see 3 here at the moment. The offset value is the offset from 0, 0, i.e. the working line. We have a negative offset here and a positive offset here. We will need to change these values and add an extra line. Take a look at style. Right now we have no styles set, but we can save multi-line styles in the same way that we saved dimension styles, and import them from other drawings or export them to other drawings. The profile at the moment is the most important thing, and here we can insert new lines, delete lines already in place, and copy a specific line as part of a definition. I'm going to insert one more line. Now it shows up as a 0, 0. All inserted lines will show up with a 0 offset. Let's start making some changes. The new 0, 0 will make that the 8-inch outside line. So we will click on the offset value, change that to 8, and we'll tab down. So now we have the outside wall line set at an 8-inch offset from 0, 0. We need 0, 0 in place, so that line remains exactly as it is. The next one is the negative 2 and later the negative 6. Let's do the negative 2 next. So we activate that, and we can enter 0, 2, and we'll enter for that one. And this one will be negative 6. So again, we enter 0 and colon and 6. But we need a negative, so negative. Enter. And now we have set our definition. And we can see the definition down below. Here's our 8-inch block, here's our 2-inch gap, and here's the 4-inch brick. But we need to specify some line styles, and if necessary, color, line scales, etc., etc. When you insert a new line, as we just did, it will come with the attributes of active, 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 and active, meaning that whatever active values are currently set, our new line will assume those attributes. Now, this is obviously a choice to make. Do we want to use the active attributes, or do we want to set specific ones? Well, I'm going to set specific ones because this definition may be used again on many different drawings, and I don't want to force the active attributes of any other drawing to my lines. I want to set a standard. So in this case, level, we will make outer walls. Color will be white. Line style will be 0. Line scale is of no consequence. Weight, we will make weight 1. And the class is primary. Next line, we'll change that to outer walls. The style, we change to 0. The weight, we change to 1. The -2 will change to outer wall. That remains the same. That goes to 1. -6, again brickwork. That goes to outer wall. That remains the same. That changes to 1. Everything is primary. And now we're set. And note that our definition has changed. The visual display of the line has changed. And that center line has now changed to a continuous line. So that's now correct. Next thing to take a look at the end caps and joints. End caps are obviously the ends of the lines, which are automatically placed as you place the lines. We have a start cap and an end cap, which could be different if necessary. And we have joints. A joint will be a mitered joint, much like, say, a window detail where you have a mitered joint. In our case, on our building, we won't have joints at all. The walls will be continuous without joints. Now, like as not, you'll see what I see with everything set as active. I'm going to change these to match our wall definitions, which will take a few moments, so I will get back to you very shortly. So that's the end caps and joints set, with one exception. I just noticed that that is showing a 0 and it should be a 1. Now let me expand this a little bit for you, because there's still some more information to look at. A little bit more. There we go. We've looked at all of these. Now the angles. 90 degrees simply means that the end cap will be at right angles to the multi-line. That's exactly what we want, but we could have an angle. So you could finish off with the end of the multi-line having a diagonal cap. You can also apply an arc to the end of a multi-line. You specify whether the definition had an outer arc and an inner arc. And the color from segment option will take the color of the end caps from the wall definition. Let's just go back and check the profiles, make sure everything's okay. That looks good. Let me reduce that in size a little bit, pop it up here. And let's open the multi-lines tool and see how this works. Multi-line tool is here under the linear toolbox. Let's start the tool. Look at the tool settings window. Make our settings. Length and angle are not set here at all. There's no style scale. We do need to change this to the work line, however. Association is not on because we have no elements to associate to. Let's just place a short piece of multi-line there and compare it with the definition that we're working from. Looks fine. So we can now go ahead and start the actual drawing of the outer walls, which I will do in the next video.